It is the Buzz Ace Michael show on the internet 24 hours, 7 more days a week. We're always available anytime you want to see the show. You can catch us 24 hours a day. If you ever want to be on the show, you can be on the show. You call to schedule your appointment. It's 702-540-3498. Or, hey man, you just don't want to call, you want to email? Go ahead and email. I don't give a fuck. You email beyondthebuzz@yahoo.com. So, starting off the show today, I want to say, when I was a kid, if you'd have told me that there'd be so much emphasis on gender when I grew up, that I would be sitting back and going, so let me get this straight. This is your dad, and your dad, I got you, no worries. You get what I'm saying? Like nowadays you walk in a room, you've got to explain, like, well, this is my business partner, this is my life partner, and this is just my partner. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different world than we used to have when we grew up. Things have changed. Or have they? Maybe this was always the way it was, and it was just so carefully hidden that we didn't know that so-and-so was born a boy but wants to be a woman, and so-and-so was born a woman but wants to be a man. It's just so different, but it doesn't have to be confusing. It just has to be different. And different is what we're all about, right? We're humans. We're supposed to be different. We're not supposed to be cookie cutter, cookie cutter, cookie cutter, right? So on my show today, DeeJay, my good friend, is here to talk about some of his transgender experiences and shed a little bit of insight. Now, DeeJay, I understand that you were born a female and you've become a male.
In not so many words.
Okay,
I mean, if you want to
bring me up to speed.
If you want to understand it better, then it kind of comes out like that. But for me, in my experience, since birth, they're just like, oh, you're going to have a boy. Oh, you're going to have a boy. You're going to have a boy. And then when I popped out, they're like, oh, look at that. So I think up until the time that I was 3 years old, I knew exactly what I was and who I was. And I kind of had to like deal with those issues or whatever. My parents just kind of went with it. So I don't know what it's like to be a female at all. So it's not like, oh, you grew up one thing and now you know you're something else and want to become something else.
Right.
So people ask, you know, oh, how did you transition and this and this and that? There was no real transition for me.
Huh.
It was mostly just kind of coming of age and figuring out what it was, what do you call it, how do I fit into this world?
Right, right. But were you born with a vagina or were you born with testicles?
I was born with, you know, the female parts, you know, some things I just can't even bring myself to say, so,
right.
You know what I mean?
But now you're super masculine. Like you got tattoos, you got hair on your face. I mean, you look like a guy that goes and collects the money in the bar if we don't pay on time. You know what I mean? Like you look like a tough, rugged guy.
Well, that's tough, rugged what I do. I've been doing security for about 15 years. I'm a trained fighter. I might have been on the other side of the tracks for a little while. I'm a bouncer at a nightclub. I mean...
Right. And so I guess what I want to say right off the bat is your outward appearance is not who defines your inward ability or who you are. Who you are as a person is not defined by whether or not you have breasts or a vagina or a penis, right?
Correct.
But see, now listen, I'm a straight guy who isn't very imaginative at all. In my world, it does. Like in my world, everything's defined by that. If I see some girl, the first thing I go is she's got a nice body, or she's got this, or she's got that. Because I'm not as evolved in my thinking as you, clearly. Because I'm like, all that stuff, it still matters to me. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it clearly doesn't. Not really.
Hey, there's guys that are born with this. There's girls that are born with that. You know what I mean? We had somebody else on the show recently that is a very good friend of mine. We call each other family.
Sasha.
Sasha.
Right.
And she was speaking about transgendered issues, but on a female point of view.
Right.
You know, she's an international model and everything like that. You know, she's made a name for herself. And, you know, you've gotten your experiences from her. And then as for me, like I said, just trying to fit into this world, I'm also a new father. And I carried my child myself. I have a C-section scar.
I'm kind of getting a little confused, but that's okay. I'm with it. Do you ever get confused? Do you ever go, no, wait, hold on, one second here.
Not at all.
Wow.
And my partner, as of now, who's now my fiance, he also does drag. So sometimes, you know, people are just like, they want to look at it like, what is going on? You know, that's kind of crazy. It's like,
what's up with you kids?
You know, it's like, do you have a girlfriend or do you have a boyfriend? Do you have a what? You know?
Now, were you ever homosexual? Did you ever, or bisexual, or any? Did you ever want to be with a member of the same sex? I guess is what I'm saying. Whether a female of the same sex at the time or a male of the same sex, did you ever want to be with the same sex?
Well, actually,
romantically or intimately,
I think
sexually.
Right. I think the way that I think the way that you're coming at it is just from your perspective, because I was straight for a long time, and that means a man attracted to a woman.
Right.
I've always been a man, regardless of what's between your legs or anything.